sometimes people feel very lost in here, but then they get sucked into a black hole. And then they have a moment
You in
like
presenter
this.
mode?
Am I in presenter mode? I don't know. Can you all hear me? Emoji if you can hear me. Hello, hello. Emojis. Oh no, I don't see tons of emojis. Okay. So you can't hear me? Oh no. Okay, let's see. Am I going to go into broadcast? Okay, everyone can probably hear me now.
We were able to hear you up there. It was a little bit quiet, but everyone could still hear you.
Okay, got it. Do you all know how to do yell mode? Catmat, get up here. Pecco, get up here. No one cold?
Okay.
All right. Okay, do you all know how to turn your yell mode on? The Y? No? Okay.
No.
So
Is it in settings?
it is. So your right controller, now everybody gets to know we have a secret user interface. So you get to hear the tutorial on this. Your right controller, you're going to move your joystick forward and backwards a couple times. You're going to see a yeah.
Very
so
nice.
You're gonna push the little Y. You're gonna
Yeah, I
select.
think it's intentional this time.
There you
I
go.
think.
Yeah. So
Am I yelling?
yep, you're yelling.
Are we cooking?
Okay, everybody emoji if
Hi,
you
guys.
can hear all of us speaking. Emojis. Oh, hey Zuki.
Ooh.
So many cool
Hello,
pictures.
hello, hello.
I don't see him. I see some over here. Okay, we got emojis
Eating
up there.
a burger with no honey
Okay.
mustard.
Good. Yes.
I want to see those bad
Perfect.
emojis.
All
Those
right.
bats are awesome.
Cool. Okay.
So now I'd love for each of you to introduce yourself, and then I'm going to try to get my stream going again because I turned that off. But yeah, starting with Pecco. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Not that you need it, but do it anyways. Are you talking, Pecco? Oh no, I can't hear you. Did you turn your yell off? Oh,
I can.
Hi, guys. Is everything okay? Does the Elmo? Can you hear me?
yeah. Do you have the Y on your screen so you can see?
Yeah, I have a little Y.
Okay, I couldn't hear you before. This is interesting. We're testing with all of you present. Okay, go ahead. Oh no, I still can't hear you. Oh, my earmuff mode is on. That's what it is. Okay, I didn't know that worked that way. Sorry. Earmuff off. Okay, now I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to thank you first, just because, like, you've got us together for this, which was really sick. You got so many people here together. You kind of got all the organization through for this, and it was just wonderful of you to do that. And you also came through for my project. Heyu was actually like kind of a massive like thing that helped kind of save and improve the project because she actually came into it quite late. I was like thinking there's something missing here, and I'd heard about Heyu before, and I was like, oh man, is my project like, is this thing legit enough? Can I get this person on? And she agreed, and it all kind of fell into place after that. And as well as that, I wanted to try and thank like Profidor as well, because holy shit, look at this place. This is sick. What a joy. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And just before not getting off too much topic, my name is Pecco. I've been playing the game for a few years now, and I kind of learned over the years to make videos, and I just like to work on stuff that's just I find compelling. And after kind of spending years kind of hunting for kind of a way to make this game make sense for myself, because it was just, I'd say when you're new to the game, you can kind of get lost kind of world hopping in public worlds, trying to find people that make sense to you or find places or groups or anything. And I was having a lot of trouble with that. And once I found Talk Group, which I actually found through Open Mind, but I found Talk Group, and they just had structure, and they were like, they'd come to talk to you first, and they just made everything kind of begin to make sense. And they had these events and stuff. And I realized after a few events, oh man, I gotta do something. And that's how this project slowly kind of came together. I thought of what skills do I have? I can make videos, I can write stuff. Well, time to put it to good use. And yeah, I'm from Ireland. I have a weird voice. It's it's hard to explain, but
It's not weird.
yeah, I just thank you.
Yeah.
Like Arch and I go back, but yeah, no, that's me. Just doing my business in Ireland. Thought about getting this video together, and yeah, it was absolutely a pleasure. And again, I got the chance to meet everyone here and meet a lot of you guys as well. And now we're here doing all this.
And we're here. So lots of emojis for Pecco and bringing us all together. Yay. And then no one, your turn. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Give me a second. All right, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Is my yell
Emojis
mode
for no one
working?
if you can hear no one. We're still learning.
Ah,
Yay. Okay, good. We got emojis up
yeah,
there.
I can
see at the
Like we
back,
did
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
sweet. Thank you. It is I am no one cold, the ex-owner of Talk Group. I'm normally a person of very few words, so I won't have much to say as an introduction. But I also want to thank you, Heyu, for being a sometimes quiet and sometimes really loud supporter of Talk Group, the whole project. Yeah, you've helped a lot.
Thank you, Noah.
And yeah, it's really appreciate having someone like you around that just, very, how do I describe? Should I say brave? Being able to go straight to community leaders and be like, hey, I want to support you in this project.
Oh, yay. Well, yeah, brave or naive or something. But yeah. I know that
Sometimes you got to be both to get stuff done.
exactly. And I also know that leaders don't always have anybody looking at them and saying, it's okay to show me the things you're scared of other people seeing, and I'm just here with you, and we can grow together. So that's part of my choice sometimes when I step up to leaders. Yeah. So good to have you here.
Thank
Noah
you.
and I got to meet at the very first Bridgemakers Circle before Bridgemakers even existed. It was a spontaneous moment of leaders just sitting in a circle talking about how lonely and hard it was to lead, and how much leaders just disappear and they don't ever get grieved or acknowledged. It just, they burn out and they leave. And so that was the very first conversation we ever had. And here we are, like a year and a half later. Oof. Okay. Well, Catmat, your turn.
Yeah. So, hey everyone, I'm Kat. I've been on here for like maybe close to 2 years now, I think. And yeah, I kind of feel like I just kind of fell into all of this. Before I came on here, I wasn't really that interested in VR as such. I just kind of saw some like people having fun on VR chat on some YouTube videos through a different YouTuber that I watched that was like no way related to VR. It was like a collab that this person did with another person, and yeah, it was just like a whole bunch of like just seemingly unrelated and like specific events kind of led to this point pretty much, because even when I got into VR chat, I was kind of just found like randomly in a world by Kibble at the time, and I was put into Talk Group, and then from there I just kind of saw about Open Mind one day. I didn't actually start Open Mind. I was Super Deriva that started it, but I joined in really early, and a whole load of other events led to me kind of leading it. But yeah, and I didn't even say, like, it's really great to see so many people here. I'm kind of very nervous seeing so many people, but it's also really nice to see just how many people are here. As you heard from the video, I'm used to doing like events with like 8 people in them, like 16 people max, with if we have 2 hosts. So having like I don't know, what is this, almost 3 times the amount
Yeah,
ish of the 16, like when they're full.
yeah.
It's pretty scary, but it's really great to see you all. And there's some people here that I haven't seen in a while, and it's nice. It's nice seeing you all come here too. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, and thanks for hosting it, hey you, and for organizing it and all of that. Thanks to Phil for building this world, and for everyone else behind the scenes too that made this all happen. Like, yeah, it's really great being here, and hopefully my nose will go down a little bit. That's usually how it works. But yeah,
I'm so glad
it's
to
great
hear
being here.
that. Yeah, wow. And I've gotten to
Thanks.
see you grow as a leader too, from your first moments of questioning, like, could you lead, to being up here with us. And I
Thanks.
just
Yeah.
want to also shout out all the crews of volunteers that are around each of us in different ways to make this moment happen. This has been months in the making, what you're here today, getting to just enjoy and meet so many amazing people. Uh, such a dream is in my heart today, bringing everyone together like this. The road has been long and fraught with much folly and disappointment, but getting to know so many of the people in this room and hearing your hearts and hearing how you persist and make room for people who you will never meet, but you will help other people meet them or make room and give them a path through this very magical and volatile third space is what I'm doing here today. So, before y'all disappear, after we do this Q&A, I'd love for you to stay long enough for us to get a group photo and commemorate. This is our first real Bridgemakers event to commemorate this space. And we will likely be using it for more big activations like this to learn beyond how do we have fun in VR. Bridgemakers is here to how do we find purpose with each other in VR? And that's a different question. So, each of the people up here have found their own path and purpose, and that's what we're doing here to ask them questions beyond the film we just saw. A few people submitted questions, and one of the things I've talked about in VR, because I've been in multiple social apps, is how you see the desert landscape outside. And for me, the inspiration on that is that it represents sometimes how hungry and thirsty we get when we come into these spaces, to have people be curious about us, to have people like us or want to know who we are. And so I think about, if curiosity was water, sometimes VR feels like a desert, right? So you bringing your curiosity here is part of healing that desert and bringing the forest and the village into becoming. And so I have so much curiosity. We got to do a rehearsal last week, and I want to ask the same question I did back then for us to start with, which is, and then we'll do some of the questions that are listed out. For each of us, I'd like us to remember that moment when we realized that we were leading. People were following us, even if it was just a couple of people in a world that knew we knew where we were going and followed us. We realized we were leading and we're like, oh my God, I'm a leader. And maybe it was a bigger thing. Maybe it was you started to realize people were depending on you and waiting for your decisions to direct things. But if you could go back to that moment right now and maybe touch your shoulder, put your hand on your heart, or just, you know, knuckle your head, however you would greet yourself with affection, maybe give yourself a boop in VR, right? But if you could go and meet yourself right now and give yourself one piece of wisdom, one kind of virtual hug, um, through time and space, what would you say to yourself? And um, even if you could, like, where would you reach for yourself? Would you grab your shoulder? What would you do? And yeah, let's start with Pekka.
I do like that question. I kind of like these questions that allow us to speak with prior versions of ourselves because, you know, they're often the best person we know. But if I could go back and see myself at a certain time just surrounding this project in these groups, it would probably be just as in the initial periods as I was coming together with the script, and even when I kind of put out the original like trailer for Talk Group to kind of take stock of what I was doing, I'd like to just kind of gently grab my shoulder as I'm kind of, because my mind is racing, you know, I'm trying to find a way to cohesively make the video flow and pace the pacing to be okay, to feature everything I can about Open Mind, to feature everything I can about Talk Group, to find a way then to feature Bridge Makers and fulfill its vision in the video. I just want to stop myself, and I kind of want to ask me to just take stock for a moment of what's happening and just remember where the project came from, because originally it started as a little love letter to Talk Group, because I was just so surprised to find something like this thing I'd been looking for, you know, like this was a game that I started playing during COVID as a means to try and find some kind of way to make the social blues go away when the world was shut down. And it was good, but it was also chaotic, and I felt like I was spending years trying to find a way to find some stability with it. So I just would want myself to take stock of kind of where I am in the middle of the project. Remember that you are making a love letter here, but also consider the topics you are getting into. Because as you can see, there's some topics I spend a lot of time in, there's some topics I fly by. And in the end of the video, I even spend a little bit of time acknowledging that, you know, after all the hours I put into it, I can't know everything about what I've done. I can't perfectly understand all this. And I feel like I could have taken myself with a little bit of more stock in the way that I wrote it, and the way that I was planning the video, the way that I was blocking out how the segments could go. But at the same time, you know, I think I'd also just tell myself, just on the sly, don't get too worked up about it. You know, I think towards the end of the project, I'd let myself get a little bit stressed, making sure I could make that screening deadline. I didn't want to make any more delays. I didn't want to do anything like that, you know? So take a moment to like sit with this vision that I have before you get too cemented in what it's going to be. And as well as that, you know, as long as something gets done that you're proud of, don't be stressing it. And I hope they come through kind of with a bigger smile at the end. That's the hope anyway. And you know, I'm still smiling by the time it's done. I just might have stressed myself out a little bit too much at the end, but that's okay. I think most big projects are going to do that. But yeah, I think something like that. Just let myself know. Take it easy.
Take stock, take it easy, and trust the flow.
Yeah, that you're going in the right direction, even if it doesn't feel like it. You are going in the right direction, and if you take up time, you know, just to think about it for a moment, you can ensure that it's the best direction it can be. Something like that. If that makes sense.
And it's going to be stressful, you know, like anybody here who's worked on projects before, there's always that rubber meets the road feeling of going, now I have to push, and I'm going to feel depleted on the other side of this for a while. And I know that. And it's, I think when it's a content project, we can see the result and it's out. But for community leaders, it's like never ending. Also, we don't get to be like, yes, we did our film. You know, we are like, we have another event like right now in an hour. You know, and so that's a different kind of advice potentially. So, no one, what is your answer to that?
Cough, cough.
Yes.
Well, I'm not even gonna lie. Right now, I am really nervous. I can feel my fight or flight triggering. My legs are a little shaky. My throat is tightening, but
you got this.
You got this.
I'm gonna thank you.
That's valid, Queen.
Lots of emojis. We're just here with you.
I'm learning to do this exercise with myself when these moments occur. You know, if I had the chance to talk to me in the past, I would walk them through it as well. I'd tell them, grab them on the shoulder and say, Colt, remember to breathe. And I have a little chant or mantra, if you will, that I like to do where I remind myself that I'm safe in this moment. and to remind myself that your body will do its thing and you can hardly control it. It's important to take your time. Don't be shy to go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so important. That is specifically in
and
these.
Lastly,
oh yeah, there's more.
Yeah. Lastly, don't be afraid to make decisions.
Go at your own pace and don't be afraid to decide. Because many decisions in here don't feel like there's a right decision ever. Like there's always a sense of who's going to be upset about what I'm about to say. Who's going to be disappointed? Who's going to go away? So, yeah, I love that. That feels like, show of emojis. Who needs to remember to breathe? Remember that you're safe in your body, and trust yourself to go at your own pace and still make decisions, even though there's a lot of no-win decisions that come in leading people from all around the world that are in masks, that owe us nothing, but also have no idea how much work it is on the side of leading to just like move things forward sometimes. So, setting your own rhythm for yourself and trusting your heartbeat and trusting even your indecision. That's one of the things I've seen leaders who don't burn out, like fallout burnout, but they'll kind of ease out and ease back in as they start to trust those rhythms, kind of like big tides, winter tides and spring tides. They start to go, oh, I'm receding. I got to tell everyone, okay, now I'm coming back in. And so, yeah, you've been a model for that for me. Part of why I love working with leaders is I get to learn so many amazing things. It's like everybody's in their own ecosystem and they don't realize that they've built something new. They've actually found a new words, new ways to do things that I get to peak sometimes. Celebrate. Thank you, no one. So much wisdom there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kat, your turn.
Yeah. I'd say for me, there wasn't really a specific point. So there was the point, as in the point where I felt like I became the leader in a sense. It was kind of gradual. There was the point where ownership transferred over, from Super Diva to me. But the actual feeling kind of just came a bit before that, a bit after that. Just as, as things, as I started to kind of host more, as Super started to host less, it was very gradual. I think in terms of, I'm not really a tap on the shoulder sort of person. I'm more like a hugs or head pat sort of person. So I don't know. I'd maybe like
so valid.
Your otter arms around you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'd probably do that sort of thing. And I guess I'd say just to that this stuff might be quite hard, especially at certain periods where there was like a period where people just got busy, and it was me doing a lot of the stuff just kind of by myself. Which, it's no one's fault. People get busy. It's a voluntary thing. So, obviously, if people can't stay around, that's totally fine. We'll just be here doing this kind of like charity, I think of it. But yeah, there was Jay over there that came on at one point, helped out loads. Then a lot of other people kind of seem to come at once and help out. And I guess in the periods where it was just me by myself, I'd just say that all the stuff that you're doing is helping people. It's going to be worth it in the end, just for my own fulfillment, but also just to know that it's going out and that this stuff is impacting people and helping people out, and I kind of hope to be able to keep doing that. Really, that's kind of my only hope with this. All really just to connect people and to give people a good time. And I mean, when I first came in, I was just in public worlds, just kind of people watching and stuff. And yeah, it took Kibble come in and introducing himself to me and kind of bringing me into the group to just give me like one of the best years of my life. Really, it was yeah, and I mean, there's so many ways that wouldn't have happened. Like I almost got a different job beforehand if I got that different job, and I wasn't then on at the time that I was on because I was pretty late. I was on like in the early hours of the morning. Like that could have changed things if I was watching like different YouTubers or I didn't see this cloud video. Like, but I mean, that's kind of going away from it a little bit. But for the people that are on here, that are kind of just walking in aimlessly around, maybe they've joined other groups and they haven't really worked out. I just, I want to kind of do my best to give the people the best experience I can, really. And in terms of leadership, I think, I'm the owner of the group, but I also do owe like a lot to the other people that help me out in my group, as well as the other groups too. As I said, there's Jay, there's Noon, Foxy, Laos, there's Functor. Damn, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like anyone else that's basically helped me.
Yes, such a team.
I know there's. I feel like I shouldn't have started listing off names because I feel like there's somebody who's escaping my mind right now.
Also, I'd like to thank the Academy of Leaders who help me every day. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to keep us going because we have so many questions. I want us to think about when we're in a social moment, and everybody can think about this too. But when we're in a social moment, what are the questions that we ask that help everybody connect, right? Sometimes those questions are like yes or no answers, like, can you all hear me? But sometimes they get deeper and they are harder to really figure out because they're going to be so subjective. So one of the questions from somebody out here is, how do you come up with questions that help people connect to each other? And you're going to each have a very different answer to that. But I'm very excited to hear them because we all need to learn how to ask questions that help people connect. So who would like to tell us your magic secret recipe that we can steal first? And
I may not be a group organizer for this, but I can give my own little attempt when it comes to this stuff. So like, for me, it's questions that lead into other questions, you know? I mean, it's something I learned while I was, there's an inherent need to be as socially on the ball as I can when I'm interviewing people, of course. And but interviews are also their own little form of socialization. Like, I had so much fun talking to everyone that I had in the videos. And one thing I found that always helped, especially if we had only recently met each other, was the kind of questions that lead into other questions. So one thing I always like to ask, and I ask it in real life as well to people when I want to get the ball rolling when I'm talking to someone, I ask, you've been on any good adventures lately? You've been you've been anywhere fun? You've done anything good? Anything like that? And what happens is, they might tell me about maybe they were on a trip recently, or they went to some interesting event, or anything like that. Or maybe they won't tell me, or not that they won't tell me, or maybe there's not been a lot going on, Maybe they've been, I've been kind of chilling at home lately, stuff like that. And then I might ask them, what have you been doing then, entertaining yourself? What, you watching movies, playing games? And from there, we kind of get sort of a ball rolling in terms of, either we're talking about what we've been getting up to, or we're talking about our interests. And for me, it's just always about, getting whoever I'm speaking to talking about something they care about. Maybe it's something I also care about. Maybe it's something I want to learn about. Maybe I don't care about it, but I get to spend a moment learning about something that I don't care about that might persuade me to. And even if I don't, I get to share a moment with someone. I get to give someone the space to kind of speak freely and enjoy themselves. And from there, the ball is moving now. Again, I'm not an organizer of these groups. This is just what I've learned on my travels and my business. But yeah, that's just what I have in my mind when it comes to those kind of questions.
And in a way, Pekka, I think Pekka said that he envisioned interviewing me for 15 minutes when we sat down, and I thought, well, I would say block the hour out, but it depends on your questions, right? And it's 2.5 hours later, but
We had
part
much
of
to discuss.
we did, and part of the question you asked was, what is your journey in VR? So it was kind of along those lines of like, how did you get to this moment with me? And that question, you can ask anybody in here. How did we get here? Right? What was your journey to this moment? I think one of my favorite answers was I made a big bowl of macaroni and I've been eating it all day. And then I decided to go in VR because I loved it and kind of hate myself at the same time. And I was like, that, I would have never known that. We all have our answers.
So valid, though.
Yeah, that's the adventure for the day, a big bowl of macaroni. What about you, Noan? What's your recipe for making questions that help people connect?
Well, Pekka, great response. I agree. Very general, open-ended questions are always a good way to start with, especially with new people, and even with long-term friends. You learn something new.
Yeah.
Great response. But if I can add to that, really, I like to encourage people to take in anything that they can immediately see or notice about an individual and not be afraid to point it out. Right? It's good to express that you're interested about what journey somebody had or what they've been up to the last couple of days, but also showing interest by saying, hey, this thing is interesting about you, I like it. We'll probably have somebody open up to you faster.
Yeah.
Maybe. It also depends.
So there's something about before I take something from somebody else, because maybe they don't really care about who's asking the question. I'm going to tell them why I care about them, why there's something sparking in me that they can connect to.
For example, I could point out your color scheme, and I have before, the green hair and the purple sweater, and I was like, you kind of remind me of the Joker. Do you know the guy?
Do not reveal me as a secret troll.
It was all along
There
coming.
you go. Now you know. This is my debut. It's my wicked laugh that my team has never heard. Yeah. So, there's also something about that where you get to challenge me with a story that comes up in you that might feel off. Like there's a part of me that is terrified of people thinking I'm a troll because I don't want to ruin your trust. But for those of you who have heard this or know, I did talk to trolls deeply for over a year. And there's a kind of lore in social VR, especially, that if you talk to trolls long enough, you become them. So we'll never know how diseased I got there. But to have that reflection puts me into an awareness of maybe you're looking for the Joker in me. Maybe you want to do some role play, but also maybe I am coming across in ways I don't know, and I want to be more mindful of that. So you're giving me information how I'm impressing you, and I appreciate the honesty. And I didn't think of the green hair with the Joker, but that's interesting. People actually, one of the questions that was submitted was asking me about my green hair. So that's interesting you said that. Stay tuned. This is your cliffhanger. Like everyone's interested in my green hair.
You become one of them.
That's a good question. Right? Why the green hair? Catman, what's your answer to that? How do you ask interesting questions?
Yeah, I think lots of the stuff was covered. Lots of the stuff he says really good. I guess my bit to add to it would be, I think, yeah, people connect through like deep conversation is what I feel, at least. At least that's how it works with me. So being able to get past like the surface level, kind of like what's the weather and stuff like that, or I don't know, what did you do today? It's not that that's going to happen with everyone. Especially like if it's just like you're passing by somebody, that's where you do kind of the shorter kind of questions. But yeah, I think like meaningful connections are done through those deeper questions. But I think in terms of coming up with things to ask people just to make the initial connections, so some of it is kind of similar. It's just kind of looking for points where somebody's similar to someone else, really. So I usually like to go to things like what media they like, maybe what songs they like, if they've got any hobbies that are maybe shared interests. I find VR chat's pretty good in the sense of everyone's got a bio, so I sometimes take like a sneaker look at people's bios to see if there's anything to connect with.
Yes.
And if I see something on there that I know that I'll connect with them with, I can just kind of go in with that and just mention that. Avatar's appearance is also something too that I can go in with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people just connect on similarities, like and being able to relate to each other and stuff. And another reason I feel like VR chat is good for certain group of people. So like me, I'm queer, I'm a furry. There's a lot of those on here, and not a lot of them. Well, I don't come across them all the time IRL. I don't. I think there's maybe like only one queer person. Yeah, two. I think two in at my workplace that I know of. Whereas it's like, at least with the people that I'm around, it's kind of the majority on here. So yeah, it's VR chat's good for me in that sense, and I guess good for all the others who are queer and furry on here too. That it's a good place to meet people on here. I guess from talking about sharing circles and questions, just to quickly put that in, I usually just think of stuff that I usually think of open. What's it called? Like questions that aren't just a yes or no answer, basically, but also just open-ended. That's the term, and just stuff that I'm interested in, basically. Stuff that I think that people have interest in answers to.
Yeah.
And whether it works or not, I do try to do stuff that will have like things where people can, well, be like interesting answers and kind of deeper answers.
Yeah.
Especially for the last one I did, I kind of tried to put an extra effort in to do that. It's something that I have in mind with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to hopefully get past surface level. That is something I'm very wary of.
I love this. And I want to invite you all to try this out, because this isn't just you're here to listen to us. Hopefully, you're learning something here. So, I'm going to give you all a challenge. In the next week or so, try to ask one person what a deep question means to them. Like, what's a deeper question that we could explore here? And I have asked that before, and I find out all kinds of stuff that depth feels different to everybody. And sometimes depth feels like jumping off a cliff, and it feels like really, really scary. So, how do we move from superficial to those deeper places? And how do we express interest and commitment to hear those answers? Because sometimes depth can be like discovering some hard things, right? Deep can be dark sometimes. So how do we practice trusting as we go down deeper and deeper layers to hear each other? And what I appreciated about this film is that it both had some playful and educational aspects to it, but it also got deeper and deeper to the point where Pecco at the end was like, I'm out of my depth, but maybe there's still more to learn. And so we all have,
always.
yeah, we all have our limits with depth, right? And there's no shame in that. But also finding that sweet spot where the depth feels just right and we're building that vulnerability, because that's really what we mean when we say depth, is we're learning to how to trust each other. So asking somebody in your life, what is a deep question to you? How do you get there? And just seeing what they say. What are their answers? Yay. So, next question here, and I'm going to invite, because this is also, you're here and you might have some questions you just thought of. So, I'm going to invite one or two people to come up in a minute and give our last question to our group here. We've gone through it so fast. So, this is kind of a question about what's next for everybody here. So, Pecco, one of the questions for you is, do you plan to do another film? And what might it be on? A question for No One Cold is, are you going to study something related to social VR or psychology? Like, what's your future for now that you've moved through the leadership for the moment and you're on to other things? And then for Kat, the question is, what is your vision of open mind in 5 years? What do you hope it's going to be? And so,
Nice. Okay.
not superficial questions, maybe, right? Let's start with Pecco. Pecco, give us the sneak peek. What are you doing next?
Yeah, this is always a fun question. Just to dwell on in my own mind when I'm thinking about what am I doing? What am I doing next? What's going on? But in terms of like, I learned so much from this project. Huge for me is just any kind of creative, because the one part I learned a new editing software, which has kind of helped me really get to grips even deeper with like all my skill set with this stuff, which has made me far more excited about doing all kinds of stuff now. And when it comes to another project, I've considered like other things within social VR. I kind of had a little backlog of ideas that I wanted to get working on that actually didn't have to do with social VR. I actually had a bunch of footage and scripts for a video project I had about like my city and about like housing and like the challenges with this kind of stuff, the housing activism and kind of complex questions about like having a house and like squatting on properties and dereliction and stuff like that. And it's kind of like there's real life footage and stuff. So like another documentary style video, but a little bit away from VR, but in a similar way of talking about how people form communities outside of the boundaries of and kind of ways to find kind of answers for things around, but outside the boundaries of normal, like what you'd expect of normal, you know? Because like where we are in social VR here, you know, in the normal world, this is an unusual, exotic thing. And in one thing I had for the script, it was about how, like, you know, people who are pushed out of the ability to afford housing in an expensive city, how they find and form their own social communities in abandoned buildings, and kind of through all of these ways, and through jumping through different legalities and all that kind of stuff, that some are valid, some a bit more shady, but they find ways to make community, you know? Now, it's all very different, but I kind of learned a little bit about talking about just people and community and things like that. So that's my main project that I'm working on next. So it'll be taking a little bit of a break from VR. But I kind of do want to return to VR because I've had so much fun making this project. And now they have this dolly setup that allows you to record footage in all new and exciting ways. There's the drone, there's all this stuff that's been updated. So I have a few ideas. I don't want to, I couldn't give up the ghost right now on like what exactly I'd want to get onto next beyond like that project I mentioned there. But, yeah, I don't think I'm done with VR. I had too much fun with VR chat and all of this stuff. And, you know, you might find me skulking around a few events again in the future with my camera. Maybe I'll get like an invisible avatar this time, so I'm less. Actually, no, an invisible avatar might make me more creepy when I'm recording footage.
Just wear that avatar.
But yeah,
You're
something
be
along
famous
those
in
lines.
it now. So show of emojis if anybody would like to see Pekko's second video about social VR. No pressure on Pekko, but let's get some emojis out. All right, look at that,
No.
Pekko. There you go.
There will be something else. I'm not done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got fans. You've got fans. Yay. Okay. No one. What's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, Pekko, I'm very excited for whatever projects you'll be working on in the future. You have a new stalker. Yeah.
I don't know whether to say my pleasure or not, but we're tight, so I'll say my pleasure.
Yeah.
What is going to be the next step for Cold? That's a good question. Well, before I get into that, I want to add some context. Talk group has taught me a lot. One interesting thing about the project is that most people going in are kind of forced to face their demons. And for most people, the nature of their demons might be anxiety, self-worth, self-esteem, etc. The same has always been and still is the case for me as well. I had to face my demons, learn the nature of them, and I learned something crazy. Yeah? And this might be shocking to you, but dang. I hated myself. Yeah. And it's made me realize the nature of my demons and how I was not properly healing or to them. And so my next step will be, I'm going to be learning about healing and how to actually do it properly instead of taking advice from role models in my life that will tell you things like, just get over it. They will claim that they know what they're talking about, but I know that they don't know what they're talking about. And deep down, they also know that they are doing way more damage than they are doing good. Yeah.
I'm so honored to be here with you and your courage to say that. I mean, to step up as a leader on a stage and say I found a very hard truth about myself, that there's a part of me that hates me and I'm choosing healing now. That is the most human thing any of us can do. And thank you for telling your truth. Yeah. So many emojis for that. No one. I'm honored, and I'm actually a bit tearful to see you speak with such courage. What I know about healing is that when we tell the truth out loud and we are witnessed by people outside of us who don't judge us, who accept that as part of us too, we release it. We release that truth, almost like here is the addition 47.568 of me, and 47.569 of me is now being born because I let that go here. And I told you the scary thing so I can become more through that. I'm letting that be also something I love of myself, which is the paradox. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I will tell
No
you,
worries.
I have spoken to many leaders who have taken much longer and kind of alleyway moments to say something very similar to that. It's like the scariest thing ever to try to teach people to love themselves and be like, I'm still struggling with hating myself and I don't know what to do with that. I feel like I'm not supposed to say that to anybody. Yeah.
If I may add.
Please.
And this goes out to anyone that has been hurt, whether you're dealing with trauma, PTSD, depression, etc. It's going to be difficult when you finally see how that comes out in your social spaces, your projects, your relationships, etc. You have to just be ready to accept when it does and acknowledge it, notice it. not being afraid, but learning to properly acknowledge that these are your flaws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would also say acknowledge that they're your growth edges. And I say that with gentleness because growth edge also means it's not where I need it to be, but growth edge says that ache could be something unfolding. Something is about to burst there. And when it bursts, we go, we don't like the feeling, but it doesn't mean it's not growing. So thank you. Yes. Ah, such vulnerability. I'm so honored. Kat, what is your next? What do you wish for Open Mind in 5 years?
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just say first that yeah, I'm sad to hear I'm sad to hear what you're going through, Coles, because I mean, yeah, you've always been like a really nice, nice, sweet person, and I mean, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I hope you get better soon because I do really appreciate you and the group that you've built, and I mean that was my entry into this all of this, so yeah. And also, I didn't I didn't shout out Pico for the video too early on. I remember. So I'm also a video editor too, so I know just how much work it would have taken. People who aren't video editors might not realize, but it would have taken like absolutely ages. I think it took you about a year, didn't it? You said something.
It took me like I think kind of the whole thing took a year, and then kind of like a kind of something along those lines. 4 months of editing, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah. I really appreciate that you put it all together and that you included me in it too. Yeah. But to answer the actual question, where do I see this group going in 5 years? So I've actually been talking with the other people, like having to run the group about some stuff that we're wanting to do in the future. We're talking about that literally before this event. So we've got stuff in mind. Having more of a defined direction and changing some things up maybe, but still keeping the core things that make it what it is. Like still keeping those there, keeping the small groups, keeping it being a cozy environment. But hopefully just enhancing on it and making it more interesting and more like valuable to people and stuff like that. We're kind of discussing that at the moment. Yeah, I think in 5 years I still want it to be a nice cozy space where people can still be open with each other, still connect with each other, still make friends, have those deeper conversations. I want to keep the core stuff there, and if anything else needs to change around that, to I don't know whether it's keeping up with the times, keeping up with new features in VR chat. Yeah, I want all those to be there, basically. Like whether I'll be there in 5 years or not, like who knows? But I want it to keep going on. I'd if anything, if my life gets too busy or whatever, and I pass it on to someone else, then I'll make sure I pass it on to someone who shares the same values. Will keep it going well, and this isn't me saying I want to go anytime soon. I might still be there in 5 years, but yeah, I wanted to keep its core basically. That's kind of the main thing.
So
but stay interesting.
Everybody here is noting that the leader of Open Mind is not just saying they want to keep an open mind. They want to keep the core true. They want to keep the path of what has been the magic intact. And that can make some hard sorting decisions at time, including the pressure for leaders to always, well, you have something so magical, so you have to scale your community and make it infinitely bigger. And part of the magic of open mind is these little circles that are like only maybe sometimes 8 people, but that's hard to scale at times. And so
Yeah.
you're moving purposefully and keeping that heartbeat guarded and guardianed. And that can look slow or small from the inside outside sometimes, but that kind of anchoring hopefully keeps you around for a long time. So thank you, Kat, for sticking with that. Open minds need
Thanks.
ground too. Yeah. Okay, one question from somebody here, and then we're going to do our celebration and also a little bit of a ceremony. So I want to plant a seed inside of all of you. Think about one community that you've lost, that you're no longer a part of, that might have died, that might have imploded. And the ache of that community, we're going to have a moment together to just give some air and some pixel releasing and grieving, because we don't ever get to grieve our communities. So I'm giving you a little preview of what we're going to do in just a few minutes. But who is the lucky person who maybe has a question? They want to raise their hand right now and come up here, and then we'll repeat it back. One question for our group or our panelists that you've come up with as a curiosity after everything you've seen here today, including a question to Hey You, because nobody's asked me questions today except, did you just crash? Somebody sent me a text on that, and I did, if you all didn't notice that. Thank you for your patience. Tech glitches. Okay, any questions? Got to bring the curiosity. It's a desert out there, everyone. Oh, we got somebody down here. Lau is raising their hand. Yes, Lau? Is that you? You got a question?
Yes, me.
Okay, what's your question?
Okay, I'm gonna shoot this because I have been curious for a long time. Echo, I'm quite curious. Why is the time for that video not longer, not shorter, but just that time, that
Ooh,
duration?
okay, that's a beautiful question. Why 45 minutes?
45 minutes, I mean, are we not used to 45 minutes as kind of the length of something that's not like a, not like a sitcom thing on television, but not a feature length, like a big movie you see in the cinema, but maybe something, you're scrolling through the channels and stuff, and then you find yourself on a certain channel, maybe not a feature length, like hour long episode of something, and you're like, huh, this kind of catches my attention. This kind of has me for a moment. And there's, I don't know, for that, for me growing up and seeing so many documentaries on like TV when I was growing up and all that kind of stuff, often being around that, 45 minutes interspersed with some ads and stuff like that as it is. When I saw it kind of coming to that length, I realized this is kind of where I want to be, because it's just about feature length technically, but it's not like a massive thing. And YouTube's been full of these kind of projects lately that kind of go into the hours length, and that's perfectly fine if you want to really get into the weeds. But for a one-man show, including my crew, of course, when it comes to the sound mixing and the animatics by Mr. Melancholy, who's actually in the audience right now. So as you would have seen from Matt's story about meeting Barney and several other stuff, that was Mr. Melancholy's doing for their art, which is wonderful. And also wonderful thumbnail art as well by Andy Mid. So but being a one-man show, there's also an element of like, I gotta be real. Like, how capable am I of getting into the weeds as thoroughly and as real as I can here, while also this not taking years of my life, because so 45 minutes just kind of as the way to go. And 45 is a nice little number. It's nice and concise.
I love that Pecco is slightly admitting that he was ready for this film to hit big time and people to throw commercials in and be like, we'll sponsor your film.
Yes.
Pecco's like, just in case anybody needs an hour slot.
Gotta plan ahead. That
That
HBO deal is coming.
That's
I know it.
That's right. Okay. Well, let's all give Pecco emojis for the beautiful dream. And I maybe told Pecco this, but I have heard multiple people who are like professionals in XR compare this film to some of the very small list of films about VR, but that have made it to things like HBO. They really admired the quality and the dedication you put into teaching them. I mean, if y'all are used to this, look at all the avatars present, right? And most people in physical reality would probably feel like they were having a fever dream after eating too much candy to see so many stories embodied in so many humanoid and other reality creatures. It shorts people out sometimes to just see so much diversity. But I've had a few people comment that they saw your film and they watched it first just because they couldn't look away, and second because they could finally start to see how we all listen to each other in here, even with all the color and the diversity. Like, how do we communicate? It's not the same as physical reality. If you ever have watched a group of circled up people on mute, they're having a conversation with words, but they're also changing their avatars randomly. And there's a whole conversation happening with their avatars. And sometimes they're not even saying anything about that, but they're running around and playing in different pairing of avatars. So we're kind of an amazing bunch that can hold many conversations at once. But for people who don't understand this, Pecco actually gave some lens action that helped people who've been professionals a long time not and have never been able to understand, especially VR chat, really start to take it in and absorb it and see the value of how we connect in here. So much kudos to that. And thank you, Lau, for your very liminal question there. Oh,
Thank
Lau.
you, Lau. That was a fun one to
That
answer.
was lovely.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so here's the ceremony I want you to consider here, because think about how few moments we have in physical reality or in VR to say together that we all have loss around community. We all miss a community, even if we were angry with it when it was closing, or we feel like, wow, that turned so corrupt and ick. But that doesn't mean that the part of us that didn't find a home there isn't still hurting. And so this is my challenge for all of us, and I may glitch out again, so we'll see how well this works. Just for a moment, I'm going to give us a minute to do this. I'm going to ask you all to breathe and just hold quiet if you can. Breathe deep into your belly and think about that ache and all the dreams of those leaders that probably thought they'd still be around today, that they thought this dream would last longer. And at the end of this minute, I'm going to invite you to type it or say it out loud at the same time. And then we're going to release some emojis into our universal sky here. Just allowing ourselves to let go of what still hurts so that we can make room for what gave us joy there. Because sometimes when we don't grieve what we lost, we can't feel the warmth that still continues through us. Does that make sense? I hope that's not too abstract. But if we can feel the pain for a moment together and just lean into that, then we can see what wants to be born through us. And maybe we're all going to be new leaders after this. I don't know. So I'm going to hold myself quietly with you. People are going to think we're glitching to come into a completely silent space, potentially. We're going to do this for a minute, just breathing in our belly. And then I'm going to say at the end of this, please share the name of the community you were feeling the ache around and the sadness with. And you can say it or type it, and then we're going to release it with emojis. And then I'll tell you what's next after that. Okay.
Why is it so quiet?
We are holding a moment of silence for the communities we've lost.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're at the end of our minute. So you can say it out loud, type it. I'm gonna say mine.
On the count of 3, maybe?
Horizon Creator Community was mine.
Hey,
Mommy
as a-
group.
should we maybe do a countdown? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
okay.
let's
know
do a countdown all together.
3, 2, 1. Horizon Creator Community.
Virtually connected.
Valera Youth Club.
Aw,
Talk group.
yeah,
I'm not sure what we're building out here, but
that's it. That is a community you've lost. So all of that, and now
Yeah,
you
true.
released emojis. Release emojis for all that pain and that sadness.
oh, curious connections.
Curious connections. Yeah. Some of these are
Mm.
still in existence, right? But we've lost touch with them. They don't want us anymore, or we don't know how to bridge anymore with them. And we get to feel our sadness and hold ourselves open. I'm looking at Taja Suka. He's holding his arms wide open. Taja Suka has an incredible world on grief. If you ever want to go be in a place that lets you just feel all of it, but not be sunk by it.
Mm.
So I dropped into my grief a little more than I anticipated. It's an honor
Oh,
to be with all of you today. I have suffered great loss as a leader and experienced great joy, incredible joy watching people find their villages. And I've had some small part of that at times. And this is another village moments that we did here, that we dragged ourselves here on a Sunday, and all the dragging of this Bridgemakers team, who I'm going to invite to come up on stage now to stand with us for a moment and get some celebration. Believing that we can make something out of so much pain and so much lostness in the world is a very courageous and scary and sometimes crazy thing to do. But each of you who paused here, I believe that moment of silence is a way to make room and try again and get ready to grow. My goodness, growing can feel like our bums are on fire and we're just trying to keep up. So, for all the communities that will be lost, even, a part of me holds Bridgemakers in my heart because we may not be around for very long. It's a miracle every month that we get just a little further. And it takes a lot of work and listening. One of the traditions in Bridgemakers that I want to invite you all to do, even if it sounds silly, is no matter if we're meeting for projects or we're meeting to just process and connect, we're building a ritual of asking each other, how's your human? As if your human was a pet. How's your human today? And we make space to hear those answers before we go into the push, the hard stuff, the like, you forgot this, or I need to do this, or I totally dropped the ball on that. We make our humans in the center first. So check in with yourself on how your human is today. Try to ask that of somebody else. And now I'm going to cajole and coax our shy, sometimes Bridgemakers team. You are all still here. I can see you. Come on up. We're going to stand up and get one picture in celebration with all of you. And then everybody gets to come on stage and we get to take a group photo somewhere. We'll pick soon. So come on, Bridgemakers team, up here.
Pecco, how's your human doing today?
Oh, look, it's already
Well,
happening.
his ankles are sore. He was climbing a fucking mountain yesterday.
Oh my.
Oh shit, mountain climbing? That's
Bridgemakers
pretty
team.
intense activity
Where are
there.
you? Okay, who do we
Oh,
got?
man.
Look at these beautiful humans. Ah, that's right, Scott. You're up here too. Lau, you're up here too.
Come on, Lau.
Come on.
What?
You
Come
do
on,
not get
Lau.
to
Okay.
hide.
Come on, Jose.
No hiding.
Come on.
Jose, get up here. Camel, you're up here too. Get up here. Oh my gosh. Quit hiding. If you've helped with Bridge Makers, keeping it alive. come
These are
up
the
here.
reluctant leaders.
These are the no, I'm
The
not a
reluctant
leader.
leaders.
I just care. Okay, so please, if you found anything beautiful or heartwarming today for your experience, please don't be shy about the emojis, and let's give this group some applause. This has been many, many months in the making, and we could even say years if we think of all the dead communities that we all have survived. So lots of emojis for each of you. Thank you for believing this crazy dream of bridge making that we're doing. Oh my gosh. We break bridges too as we make them. It gets intense. This is not just a positive space. We have conflict, we forget, we leave, we give up, and then we try again. So I'm not here saying this is perfect. We have a lot of growth edges. But each of you checks in sometimes at the most random moments with me, and sometimes I growl at you. I'm like, I'm busy, or I don't have time to be human, or I'm holding too much and I'm burning out and nobody's doing enough. I say all those things quite regularly, but also somehow you all keep coming back. So thank you. Thank you for all your faith and willingness to try. Okay, so let's get a photo. This is an amazing team. If anybody is hiring really brilliant human beings, a lot of these people could use support. Ooh, I went too far. Okay, I'm not good at arranging people, but let's come to the edge of the stage so that we can not fall off, but not hide behind each other, because you know how often that happens. Everybody stacks up. And they're like, I was in the photo. I've done this too. Oh no, we lost one of us. Everybody line up like it's a shooting gallery. Sorry, I don't have a better metaphor. And I say support, but at the edge of the stage, keep coming.
Not at all.
We're gonna get shot.
I can't believe she used that analogy of all analogies ever.
It's full of things. Okay, Mary, Armani, come on, get up to the edge. We gotta get everybody.
This is going to be a lot of fun when we're getting everybody in.
Line up like chess pieces.
Like this now.
Yes. Okay. You're all slowly together. You're like, no, I'm not doing the edge. All right, we're gonna go with it. Way to rebel. Okay, here we go. So emojis to say we knew we were here, and keep crashing. And yeah, now it's everybody's turn. So get up here and let's crash my
Get up here.
computer.
Get up here.
Come on. Everybody in the black hole. I'm going to do a broadcast so everybody hears this.
Come on, we got candy. Candy for everybody.
If you don't want to be in, that's okay. Hey, but like, it'd be cool.
Get up here. Oh my God, Tajasuka, what are you doing? Deirdre, get up here. Come on, people.
I see your ass, Clayton. Get in here.
Come on, Astro.
I'm going to send you the troll box, and then you're going to really...
Azuki!
Stage right.
Yeah, we've already been there.
I see a fellow Irishman over there. Come over here.
Get up here.
Come here to me.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dre. Is that Dre up there?
Come on. I can see Jay up there.
No, Dre.
I'm thinking he might be AFK though.
Come on up.
I moved because someone's standing here with wings.
Come on up.
It's, not super conducive to your group.
Hey, get up here.
We're almost here.
Oh, we got some people just
Yeah,
listening.
Okay. Okay. What a photo.
Yeah, no,
y'all.
just
Picture, please
Holy
come up to the
guacamole.
stage.
I know. Look at
Oh,
this.
I'm taking picture.
Oh. So
Yeah.
So I don't have a computer that completely grabs everybody's avatars. So if anybody does, because I have a whole bunch of diamonds standing here, please also help with the photos, because otherwise we're gonna have diamonds, which
Absolutely.
But yeah,
I'll give it a try. The most powerful computer
she
either.
has a computer that can tolerate this.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, now let's all release the final emojis of our black hole. It's been hungry all day today, and we're in concentrated amounts. So feed the black hole. There you go. Look at that.
Yay.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's stunning. That's lovely. So now I'm going to turn around. We have been live streaming. Let's all say goodbye to our live streamers. They have
Goodbye.
been watching, seeing
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Hey. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys.
Are you breaking? Taj, are you breaking right now?
I'm pressing the button. I'm pressing the button.
If you would like to join Bridgemakers,
I got it.
If you'd like to join Bridgemakers, you can do that by joining our VR chat group. I'm going to fall down here. Now I'm the audience and you're all the leaders. Ha! I tricked you.
The long con is real.
I can accept this.
Did troll.
Actually getting full right now.
Yeah, in the audience, please.
To be fully serious, though, this community is built off of incredible hearts that want to be on purpose in VR. We would love to have more help. And so if you would like to become a helper with Bridgemakers, there is a path to do that. It includes attending our events and being in our server and showing us that you get the vibe and you want to help build it. So don't just join the VR chat group. Please join the Discord also. There's a little bit of an application journey to do that. And please, pass on the information that we're doing this. This group is for community builders, which just by the very fact that you're up on this bridge, you are all inaugurated. If you didn't know it, you are now a community builder. Congratulations. I ceremonially bless you.
You got me.
Yes.
Part of the family. We'll leave it. It's over.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the family, son.
Panic attack.
The fucking Resident Evil 7.
Hey guys, I still got hold on. I got yell mode for a second. I don't mean to talk over you, but a little bit of thank you for Hey You. You've thanked us all over and over again with great love, and we must thank you over and over again now for doing all of this. Thank you. For being cool as hell, and for doing incredible things here, and for organizing this.
It's an honor.
100%.
I like to say that I don't necessarily paint with paint, but I paint with people. And this vision right here, this is my
Blood?
painting. You are all the colors.
Calm down.
Blood is interesting, but
Calm down, Pico.
A lot of blood,
That was
sweat, and
lovely, though.
tears.
That's what it's been.
Yes, but
Yeah.
these are those moments. So yeah, join our Discord. And if you don't want to, that's okay. But what I would say is be a bridge maker. The one thing you can do in social VR to make this a healthier place is if you see somebody standing alone, go say hello. I know it sounds silly and simple, but that makes all the difference in the world in giving somebody the beginning of their path. And so if you do anything from this moment, whether it's with bridge makers or not, say hello to somebody who's alone and you will have paid in full and 100% beyond that. And that I know as the bridge makers, that is our heart. We want the social spaces to be filled with greetings and curiosity and journeyers that want to bring everyone else with them. So I'm going to stop talking now. This was amazing. Please stay tuned. We're going to have a leadership summit next weekend that is going to be going on a world hop with a game designer and an environmental designer. talking about how our spaces tell us things, tell us how to be together, tell us how to learn and behave, and also conflict. We're going to be doing all kinds of things up ahead, and I hope you'll join us. And with that, I'm probably going to take a body break for about 5 minutes. But if anybody is in here after 5 minutes, I will come say hello and circle the space. And if anybody wants some
Okay.
rest and retreat troll tours, look for the Bridge Makers. We have some secret spaces in here. And so look for the Bridge Makers logo up above people's heads. And those people might have access to make you a troll for a moment and learn about restorative justice and trolling. So we have a 1.0 of
You got
that
them
version
powers.
today. Okay, I'm going to take a body break. I'll see y'all maybe in 5 minutes.
Over again now for doing all of this. Thank you for being cool as hell and for doing incredible